Hello everyone, my name is Raul Larios and I'm on a mission to complete every Ironman in the world. Today I am bringing you a complete no BS guide to Ironman Texas. Whether it's your first Ironman or your 10th, this video will walk you through in detail through everything you need to know. From the check-in to the finish line and even the aftermath. Here's what we're covering. Check-in, prep and equipment, race day morning, swim, transition 1, bike, transition 2, run, finish line, and the aftermath. First things first, check-in. Get there early, parking can be a pain. So after you enter the Ironman Village, go to the check-in line with your ID and QR code ready to scan. Once you enter the tent, you'll get a wristband, your packet with stickers, your swim cap, and if it's your first Ironman, tell them. They'll ring a bell for you, quite a moment. Next, pick up your timing chip, then your Ironman bag that contains all the transition bags, then your bib, and finally, exit the tent. So after check-in, it's time to get all of your gear packed, ready to go, and dropped off the day before the race. Now let's talk about those bags. So we're gonna have the red bag, which is for the run. Then we're gonna have the blue bag, which is for all of your bike gear. And finally, the morning bag is this transparent bag that you will put all the stuff you don't need before getting in the water, right? So you're gonna walk towards the beginning of the swim with this bag, and then whatever you need to take off, let's say your shoes, your phone, let's say that the wetsuit's not allowed, they determine that given the water temperature, you're not gonna be able to use it. Then you're gonna put all those things that you can't take with you on the swim in this bag. And then Ironman is gonna have that bike delivered at the finish line so you can pick whatever you put in this bag at the finish line. Then you're also gonna get an orange and a black bag, which are for orange is for special needs for the bike and black is for special needs for the run. You will be able to access these bags every loop that you make in each course for the race. So imagine you need to take a certain medication or you need a special type of sunblock or you want to have antacid or ibuprofens that you want to access in the middle of your bike or your run. Well, these are the bags you put them on and you'll be able to access them each loop. Only one thing is these bags, you don't get them back. So whatever you put in there, you have to be willing to part ways with it at the end of the race. Now, pro tip, pack new socks for the start of the run. I had wet socks in the bike since I had to pee in my bike actually. So one of the socks was just completely drenched in my own pee and it was a little bit miserable. I wish I had new socks. Make sure to pack new ones for the run. Now also make sure to have all your nutrition ready for the start of the swim and the beginning of the bike. Ironman doesn't give you any nutrition for before the swim or at the beginning of the bike ride. Once you get to that first aid station and in the bike ride, you will be able to access food and hydration throughout the whole race, but not before. So make sure you have that covered as well. So now you're packed up, you're ready to go, you have all your gear. Now the day before the Ironman, within the allotted time slot, you'll be able to drop off your red bag, your blue bag, and your bike into the transition area. They will guide you through where to drop each one off. And after that, you'll be able to, head home and rest before the race. Don't worry if you forgot to put something there. You will have access to your bike and to the red bag and to the blue bag the morning of the race. Also, the white, the orange, and the black bags are dropped off the morning of the race. So keep that in mind. Race day morning. So first thing you're gonna do is head to the transition area. I recommend taking an Uber or catching a ride from a friend or family member. I don't want you stressing over parking first thing in the morning. After this, you're gonna head to where you have your bike, you're gonna pump your tires and drop off any last minute gear that you may have. Then after this, you're gonna start the long walk, and I mean long, towards the swim start. It can be from half a mile to a mile and a half, depending on the competition. So keep that in mind. At the swim start, you're going to drop off your morning bag and your orange special needs bag and your black special needs bag. All right, so pro tips, use closed-toe shoes. I've been using sandals because I just think it's more comfortable, but this Ironman, I saw a lady wearing sandals and basically she busted her toenail so badly. It was hanging from her toe. She was bleeding so much. I don't think she even attempted the race. I mean, it would be a huge infection risk in that dirty water at the lake. And I cannot just imagine that just running 100, biking 112 miles and running a marathon with that toenail. Don't take any risks. It's dark and it's just not worth throwing away all the time and money you've put into this because you busted a toe on the walk to the swim start. Use closed-toe shoes. Now, bathrooms. Recommend go to the bathroom anywhere except at the swim start. The porta potties were absolutely horrific. It was like a battle trying to get to one. We went to the woods to take a leak, but there was human feces on the ground. So it's just a disaster. Avoid going to the bathroom there if you can. Now, wetsuit swimmers go last. So if it's one of those races where the water temperature is on the line, just consider that you will be at the end and you face, extra heat exhaustion. And on top of that, if you're a strong swimmer, you're gonna have to be swimming through people because you will be right at the back. So keep that into consideration. Now, you will line up for the swim start depending on your expected finishing time. Make sure to place yourself in the one where you think you're gonna finish. You don't want people swimming over you, and you don't want to be swimming over people. This is like the one key thing of the swim. So you want to make sure that nobody's catching up to you, you're not catching up to anybody. It's gonna make a way less stressful swim. Alrighty, well, let's dive into the swim. The swim is a point-to-point and back swim, and then it finishes with a swim through the canal. So basically you're gonna go from point A to point B, and then from point B back to point A, and then finish off in this canal section. You'll have the sun on your face on the way back, so tinted goggles are a big plus for this race. The stress in this swim was real. There's very low visibility, the water's really murky, and there was a lot of contact. Expect punches, kicks, and zero sightings from others. Just keep calm and keep moving. Because of this stress, I experienced cramps midway through the swim, which I've never cramped swimming. And I'm talking triceps, forearms, legs, feet. I was really considering quitting this race because I felt like I was a big drown risk if my body fully cramped up. However, I decided to see if I could touch the bottom of the lake, and I did. I was able to stand on it, which told me like, hey, you're not gonna drown. If you fully cramped up, you can just stand and call the race. So just keep that in mind. It's shallow. So if you're really stressing about drowning, just remind yourself that it's shallow. Do not stand like I did. I actually heard that somebody the previous year got cut really badly because there's a lot of garbage at the bottom of this lake. So please do not stand up. Now, some things to consider that I heard from other people that have done this race is I met a guy after this Ironman at the hotel I was staying, and he said that he's an extremely strong swimmer, and he said he wanted to quit after just 500 yards because he started at the back with the other wetsuit people, and he said that the stress of people kicking him and punching him and having to swim over people and people swimming over him was just too much. So keep this into consideration. Don't let it scare you. Just try to stay calm and keep moving. Don't stop that much to look up and to look up. You lose all your gliding. You're gonna have to spend more time in the water. You're gonna have to exert yourself more, trying to find a rhythm. I know it's hard, but just try. And now I met another guy who said that the time he did this competition a few years back, it rained a lot before the competition, which brought all the dog poo, all the chemicals, all the pesticides, all the trash into the lake. And while swimming, he actually swallowed some of the water and he had diarrhea throughout the rest of the race. So just keep in mind that the water is dirty and avoid swallowing at all costs. Transition 1, commonly referred to as T1. You're gonna get out of the water, and then if you have a wetsuit, there's gonna be some people assisting people taking off their wetsuits. After this, you're gonna grab your blue bag for your bike leg and you're gonna head to the gender tents. It's divided into female and male. I walked into my tent, and here I changed, I dried my feet, I got everything out of my blue bag, I put it on. There was a volunteer that came and helped me. Take your time, unless you're trying to win the championship or accomplish something. I'd say take your time. The bike leg is crucial because there's so much equipment that you need. So make sure you don't forget anything. Also, keep a positive mindset. I struggled a lot during the swim and I was cramping already. I thought there was no way I could finish, right? Like my race was kind of done in my mind, but I decided like, hey, you know what? No matter what I think, I'm gonna keep going until my body allows me. yeah, and that's the mindset that I had and I was able to finish. So just take this transition as a good opportunity to kind of regroup and recover from what you just went through. Time for the bike, which is basically half of the race, very crucial leg of the competition. After you get on your bike, the first portion is gonna be spent getting towards the toll road. Then at the toll road, you're gonna do 2 loops. So basically you're gonna head straight on the toll road, then turn around, head all the way back to where you started, then loop again, all the way back, and then all the way back again to where you started. After this, then you get off the toll road and you basically navigate your way back to the transition area. So half of the 2 loops on this toll road happens against the headwind and with significant elevation compared to the other part of the loop where you're basically going with the wind and going more of a downhill. The total elevation climb on this course is of about 2,500 feet. I looked up online and it said it was 1,225 feet. That is incorrect. It's gonna be 2,500 feet. Keep that very in mind. Now, the temperature, the official temperature outside was about 90 degrees Fahrenheit, but I met a guy after the race who told me he had a thermometer on his bike and that it was actually reading 113 degrees Fahrenheit because of the pavement heat. It was absolutely demonic. So keep in mind, it's gonna be a very hot race, or at least it has the potential to be a very hot race. Apply and reapply sunblock religiously. I burnt significantly bad because I ran out of sunblock. I tried to time the end of my bottle, and yeah, I ran out and I couldn't get enough on my neck, and look at the burns that I have basically. And I have some melanin on my skin. I saw some white folks out there that were absolutely brutalized by the sun. Yeah, take it very seriously. Now, there was a lot of crashes. I saw a lot of them. And a lot of them were happening on the turnarounds, on the loop. So make sure that you're slowing down and you're being cautious over anything. One of my friends, Jeff, who was also doing the Ironman, crashed against somebody. They fell off right in front of him and he ran them over. Thankfully, he didn't get hurt and his bike was intact, so he was able to continue the race and finish it. But keep your distance and be extremely cautious. You don't want to be wiped out and out of the competition because of an accident. Now, there was also a cement truck that flipped over and crushed a car and basically went onto the other side of the highway. So basically, there was one side of the highway which they completely blocked off for the bikes, but the other side of the highway was still operational. Well, the people on this highway, I guess the cement truck was probably watching the bikes and he flipped. And he could have ended up killing people when he flipped into our bike lane, basically. Thankfully, he didn't. Apparently, so some cement spilled and hit some of the bike riders, and they in turn fell and required some medical attention, but everything was fine. I just mentioned this because there are things that will happen on the race that you need to be aware of, and I do want you to be super cautious. I mean, just because the roads are closed, because there's policemen stopping the traffic, doesn't mean you're 100% safe. Always exercise caution. Now, stay hydrated and keep your sodium levels up. I saw many people cramp up, many. There was so many people on the side of the road, basically holding their heads down, stretching their legs. I knew the race was done. I was cramping myself, but it never got too bad. But yeah, sodium, sodium, sodium. Now, also bring extra tubes and a pump or some CO2 in case you get a flat. If you don't know how to change a flat tire, learn, because yeah, there was a lot of pops also, and you need to be able to know how to do it so you can recover and keep on your race and not have something so dumb like that completely derail your opportunity of becoming an Ironman. Now, also at the end of the bike, take your time getting off the bike, make sure you're unclipped. I actually cramped up right when I finished the bike and I fell. I basically fell and had to stay on the floor for a while, stretching my legs because I was so cramped up. Actually, I wanna show you the clip of how it went down. Yeah, I don't know how I ran a marathon after that, but if something like this happens to you, don't lose hope. I'm clear proof that you can cramp up pretty badly at the end of the bike and you can still finish the marathon. It's possible. You've been training, your body can handle it. Transition 2, very straightforward, same as transition 1, except with way less moving parts, right? You just need to put your shoes on and a hat, whatever you need for the run, which is way less than for the bike. It's gonna be quicker because of that. Remember to put on fresh socks. Remember to reapply sunblock, and just breathe and get ready for the marathon. Don't take too much time here so you don't start second guessing yourself, so you don't start like dreading having to do a marathon. You wanna make it quick and just keep on moving. Pro tip, before getting into this transition too, I actually asked my family to bring me more salt tablets and fresh new socks. So this is an opportunity, if your families are watching you right before you enter the transition, to request some extra assistance, so that way they can meet you up in one of the loops that you're doing in your marathon, and you can actually access these items. I don't know if this is Ironman legal, but I'm imagining that as long as you're probably not competing to like win or qualifying to the championship, nobody's really gonna say anything. So keep that in mind. Now, the last leg of the competition, the run. So in this specific course, it is 3 loops. It is mostly flat, and there are 8 stations every mile. Remember to use them. Cool down often with water and ice. There's people there spraying you throughout the race in the 8 stations with hoses and water, and they also giving out ice. I was actually putting a lot of ice in my wetsuit, in my dry suit, to be able to stay cool. Monitor your heart rate. If you're feeling really hot, check your heart rate. As long as your heart rate's fine, you're probably not overheating. But if you're feeling completely burning and on top your heart rate's really high, play it safe, because there was a lot of people collapsing left and right. Many. And when I say many, I saw several people on the floor. I even saw this guy towards the nighttime where he was on the floor completely unconscious, bloodied face, and he had paramedics next to him with oxygen tanks and giving him first aid. I actually met somebody else after the race that told me, hey, did you see the guy that was collapsed around mile 24 marker? I was like, yeah, I did see him. He's like, well, I saw him getting CPR. So this guy was getting resuscitated on the race. And I also heard that the Memorial Hermann helicopter got dispatched. So I'm only putting pieces together and thinking maybe it was for this guy. So this is an extreme sport. So yes, be strong-minded, but monitor the data and know when you're not feeling well. Very, very important. Now, at night, it starts to get a little bit eerie. There were sections where I was like, well, if I collapse, it's gonna be several minutes until somebody finds me. But then I saw they have these vehicles with lights going through the course at night to be able to find anybody that might be collapsed. So, don't get too scared. There's people watching out for you, but always play it safe. At the end of the run, also, your stomach's gonna be a mess, maybe even earlier, just from all the sodium and all the gels that you're taking. I saw a lot of people throwing up. So make sure to pack some antacids or Pepto-Bismol, something for your stomach that you can access in your special needs bag. This is what I did, and it was a game changer. So protect your stomach, be prepared in case it starts, messing up. Now, at the end also, your mind starts to fade. So just keep that in mind. Try to snap out whenever you feel like you're zoning out or getting loopy. Just be prepared to experience these things so they don't catch you off guard. Now, after the last lap, instead of heading towards the second or third lap sign, you're gonna go to the sign that says to the finish line. You're gonna follow that, and then that's gonna guide you right into the finish line so you can celebrate and enjoy, being an Ironman. Time for the finish line. That finish line, just pure magic. The bell, the crowd, the lights. Make sure to soak it all in. It goes by fast. The best video angles actually come after you've crossed the finish line. And I'm talking if you purchased a photo and video packet from Finisher's Picks. After the crossing, it is where you get the most content. I didn't know this, so I celebrated, crossed the line, and then after that, I just looked at for the rest of my videos and pictures. So make sure to keep celebrating after you've crossed that finish line. It will be recorded on video. After you've crossed the finish line, a volunteer will come and escort you to grab your medal, your shirt, to take finish line pics, and to pick up your morning bag. This is where you will get your transparent morning bag with all your stuff back. There are also pizza and snacks, which I missed. I was really hungry afterward and had to go get food, but they actually have some at the finish line for you to enjoy. Now, after this, you can go back to the transition area to grab your blue bag, your red bag, and your bike. If you have family members attending, they will also give you an orange ticket that you can give to your family so they can go and pick up your stuff and have it ready for you for when you cross that finish line. My family did not have it ready, so I had to wait like an extra hour for them to go and grab it. All I wanted to do was just go home and sleep. So prepare for that, and ideally, if you can, have somebody else pick that stuff up for you. And finally, the aftermath of the race. I personally felt physically ill and smelled like a swamp monster, like death. When I went to bed after showering, every time I closed my eyes and tried to sleep, I would see hallucinations. It was actually hard for me to go back to bed. I was also apparently groaning in pain the whole night and could barely walk for the next few days. But you know what? Honestly, it was all worth it. It was absolutely amazing. Now, if you made it this far, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this helps you crush your Ironman Texas race. If you've got any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to drop them below, and don't forget to subscribe. We've got a whole world of Ironmans ahead of us. I'll see you at the next one.